Hello, this is teddygaming. Welcome back to another video. In today's one, we're going to be looking at all the TMT comic books that are coming out in February. Now, this month, like January, is going to be a little bit disappointing just due to what we're getting. Now, that's not to say that the comic books are actually bad, but it's just to say that we're getting 2 comic books, a source book, and a trade paperback book. So there's not really all too much we can really talk about this month, but I got a feeling with all the new information we got over the past few days about the upcoming TMT comics, the next months will be getting better, to say the very least. Okay, so let's start us off with February 7th. Now, on February 7th we'll begin the issue number 10 for the TMT, the Samurai Adventures, and I must admit with this one, I am quite curious to see what we're going to be doing in this issue. Just because where we did leave things off with last issue, with Leonardo going to like Japan, I want to say, in like a different time with Shredder. So it'll be interesting to see how they're going to be roughing things up with that kind of story. But also not to mention with the most recent news about the Tales from crossover kind of thing, it is really giving me curious to see what they are sort of planning. Maybe we could get like little hints towards it in this issue maybe. I doubt it, but you never know. Okay, so for the description, it is Leonardo and Shredder held through space and time when the Forever Blade is shattered. It's up to wrestle with TMNT to finish the fight back in NYC and rescue their brother, in addition to keeping an eye out for the time breach they were warned about. Meanwhile, transported back in ancient Japan, Shredder has set his sights on the replacement sword. The Edokuchu trilogy continues in Samurai Adventures. So yeah, I must admit overall, it does sound like it's going to be like a really fun issue. I am like quite curious to see like a lot of things about this issue. One, I just want to see a lot of stuff with the like time period that's Leonardo and Shredder teleported to, because I think it could be fun and interesting to see what they could be doing there. And with the breaches that's happening back in NYC, I am somewhat hoping that it's sort of like is the episode timing is everything from fast forward, with all the breaches happening in New York and stuff like that, with like dinosaurs and stuff like that coming out through the portals. I'm really hoping it's something like that, but I doubt it. Now for the covers themselves, they're also pretty interesting. We got cover A done by Dan Schuing, who's doing the artwork for this issue, and we also seen a recreation of the TMNT movie 3 poster, but with the A7 Turtles, and sadly it works, and this is too good to be a cover, and yeah, wow, this is just amazing. We got a cover B done by Jack Ho, which I must admit I do like the art style for this one, sort of like anime-esque kind of thing. It does look really cool. We do have some from Cameron Johnson, which I won't lie, a little bit disappointing. Now, it's cool to see Leonardo in the Ronin gear, but at the same time, I feel like people just using the Ronin gear, it's not really, like, doesn't have that much of an impact anymore. And it comes off as just like, well, Ronin sells, so we're going to use that. So I wish they would stop using the last Ronin and stuff like that. And then also got a one with Leonardo and Shredder in the forest and electricity. It's a weird one, but very creative with all the lights. I won't lie, it's not a colour which I like all too much, but it's a creative one, I'll say that. So yeah, that's coming out on February 7th. So going over to February 14th, we do have the TMNT, the IW ongoing series, each 148. Now, with this one, it's going to be another interesting one with where they left things off from each 147, with them going to Mutant City, and the future and stuff like that. So this issue is going to be really interesting to see how to get, like, you know, like really unravel the whole future stuff, which, yeah, it could be interesting. So for the description for this issue, it is, with Armageddon travelling further and further back in time, Donatello begins to wonder just when he's going. And while Donnie plans, an ally shows their hand, joining Sophie Campbell and artist Vincent Frederick as the road to issue 150 continues. So yeah, I mean, from that description, we sort of do already know like some parts of it, just because with the allied bit, we know that it's probably going to be like Renette, Lisa and stuff like that from like the future and stuff like that. So I feel like that's a little bit spoiled, but at the same time not really. So that's kind of cool. The Armageddon going back in time, I'm just see how that's going to be playing out and stuff like that. So yeah. Now for the covers, we do have some pretty interesting and cool ones. We've got one done by Vincent Frederick, where I do get to see a turtle. I'm not going to say who it is, just in case you haven't seen H147, but either way, this does look really cool with the turtle and cybernetics, looks really cool and amazing. We do have cover B, which is a very amazing one, where we do get to see future Lita and Renette in, I believe it's a reference to a poster to a movie, but I'm not too sure what movie it was from. But either way, this one looks really amazing. I don't know, something about it is like very vibrant, and also it's giving me church kind of vibes with like the mosaic stuff in the background. I feel like, you know what I mean, where I do get to see like Jesus on the cross in the churches and the windows. Hopefully that makes sense. I really hope so, at least. And yeah, we do have a few other ones. We've got one done by James Harron, which looks really cool, with a turtle there, with Armageddon in the background. If we've got another one done by Jim Lawson, where we do get to see Jenica and Venus, which is amazing, because we've not seen Jim Lawson drawn Jenica or Venus up to this point, so this is really amazing, and yeah, that's just amazing. So yeah, that one's going to be coming out on February 14th. Okay, and then moving over to February 21st, we got the TMNT Sourcebook issue number 1. Now, this one I'm very surprised at, and also somewhat stuff which I feel like we probably should have seen coming. So, with this one, stuff which I'm surprised at is the fact that there's no like alternate covers, it's just this one cover which I'm quite surprised at. Normally with this kind of stuff, or any comic books, they normally do like to have 101 different covers, so I'm quite surprised by that. But with this book, when they first announced it, it was something which I feel like a lot of people was all questioning about it, just because the series at this point hasn't ended. So I feel like it was all stuff which was just like, why are they doing that? I mean, just because, even after this source book is coming out, we still got a few more miniseries within this like sort of continuity before they relaunch it and stuff like that. So it does seem a bit weird, but then knowing that it is like being relaunched, it does make a lot of sense. So yeah. Okay, so for the description for this one, yeah, there is a description, and yeah, we might as well read it. So IW TMNT Comics synthesizes a remix 40 years of Tales lore and transforms it into a single sprawling epic. This sourcebook collects and catalogues every character, every location, and every notable event and series as a comprehensive companion into an epic 4-issue written by Patrick Elfers. So quickly before we do go on to the next bit, I don't think I will be talking about every single character, because there's way too many characters for them to talk about. Especially when you do look into just like one-off type characters. I mean, are they really going to be talking about Torben Zix, Garbage Man, and stuff like that? Or even Worm? You know, characters which I feel like people have forgotten about. So I don't think I'll be cataloging everyone, but nearly everyone. So yeah. So the description does go on to say, issue number 1 tracks the complete story and friendship and rivalry of Rokusaki and Hamasayoshi, from friends to foe, from present to past, from astral plane to solid ground, where the immortal Shredder builds an army of criminals, ninjas and bees, and the resurrected Splinter and his turtle's son grows their influence through family and fellowship. These are the humans and mutants caught up in the lifespan, defiant war for control of the Foot Clan. So yeah, it just seems like that this issue will just be going over the basics in terms of like what's in this universe, in terms of like who's good, who's bad on the Toll side, the villain side. And I've got a feeling that in the like next issues to follow, we're probably going into like other characters and other events and stuff like that. But also at the same time, it does feel like they're not going into like any specific order in terms of like noting like when like stuff happened in chronological order and stuff like that. And I feel like it's going to be like a bit all over the place with these source books, but at the very least we'll be cataloguing everything, or almost everything, so yeah. And the artwork for this one is done by Matteo Santoloco, which I must admit is pretty cool. Yeah, it looks like his artwork is really great, and his totals are probably like some of the most iconic ones from the RW stuff, which is really cool. And yeah, so that's coming out on February 21st. Okay, and then for the final thing, that'll also be coming out on February 21st, it is the TMNT Volume 8 of the TMNT Reborn thing, called Damage Done. And this one's going to be interesting because it collects a few issues which I feel like people have very mixed feelings about. So for the description for this one, I'm not really going to go into it just because these issues have been out for quite a while and stuff like that, but this book will be collecting issue 140 to issue 144, and also the 2023 annual. Now this book has 152 pages, it costs $20, and that's pretty much all I can really say about it. There isn't really too much I can really say about it, other than just it's coming out, if you want it, it's there, and yeah. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below, what book are you looking forward to the most for February? I mean, overall I'd say that I'm probably looking forward to the Salmon Adventure stuff, and also the ongoing series, but I mean, there's not really too much of a competition this month, so yeah. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below what do you think about all this. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. If you want, please share, that's just subscribe, not stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.